When it comes to tech, sometimes simplicity is just the best approach, and nobody does simplicity better, with a touch of class, than Audio-Technica. Carrying on that tradition is Audio-Technica's new gaming headset, the ATH-GDL3. It's compatible with PCs, got this cable for that, and games consoles, got this shorter cable for that. It also comes with this removable boom mic, so if you do just want to use these as regular headphones, you've also got that option. What do you reckon? I love the look of these. Ignore the hair. They have a Stormtrooper kind of vibe with this white plastic and black everything else. And you know, you can't go wrong with a design that shows the inner workings of the tech. They're obviously open back too. I'm reviewing these open back ones, but there are also very similar closed back versions on offer as well. Hands down, my favorite thing about these headphones, they are super light. So I've been wearing mostly heavier gaming headsets over the past few months. So when I first put these on, they felt like air. They still clamp down with enough force, so you know, if you start waving your head around, they're not going to be flying off your head anytime soon. But because they are so light, you still don't get uncomfortable even after extended gaming sessions. Because they're so airy, they also stay pretty clean. You're not going to be sweating into these too much because air can flow through them. But if you do need to clean the ear cups or replace them, they can come off really easily as well. Putting them back on is a little bit tougher. Oh no, I'm getting there. I did it. Okay, but how do they sound? Well, first off, you're not going to be getting skull-shattering bass in these. It seems to often be overpowered by the mids and the highs. Actually, high frequencies in these seem to be way more pronounced than many other headsets I've tried. It's fine for the most part, but if you're listening to music, for example, in snare-heavy tracks or tracks with lots of instruments, the highs become really overpowering, and sometimes you even start to lose a little bit of clarity, and the whole song kind of ends up being all pushed up to that end, and you kind of miss a lot of stuff. To that end, I didn't really enjoy listening to music or even watching videos on these too much. I've got better headphones for that. This actually makes these headphones pretty perfect for gaming though, if you're playing games with footsteps and gunshots and stuff like that. These sorts of sounds come through loud and clear, and in shooty style games, you might even get a slight advantage from these headphones. Just a slight bit. I'm not saying they're gonna make you a better player. The trade-off here is if you have a particularly screechy friend on Discord or voice chat, or you just run into players that are like that, it becomes a little bit too much. A few times I just had to turn these headphones right down to avoid that sort of stuff, and I don't think that's ideal. Here's something interesting though. I actually paired these with the Turtle Beach Recon controller, which I reviewed a couple of months ago. After playing with the 4 EQs a bit, I actually found the sound to be way more fully rounded and pleasing to listen to. So I reckon if you can pair these with something that allows you to kill the harshness of the highs a little bit and add some custom EQs, then you end up with a pretty capable little headset. I'm just not super keen on the sound right out of the box. Moving on to the microphone, and yeah, this is what it sounds like. It's pretty standard as far as gaming headsets go. You can hear a lot of digital processing coming through the mic, but it does do a pretty decent job of picking up your voice. It's also a very directional microphone, so you want to make sure it's actually pointing directly at your mouth. Because the pop filter is actually covering the direction of the microphone, it's a little bit hard to tell where to direct it, but you can work it out by feeling through the pop filter or simply taking the pop filter off. Because it is so directional though, it does a really good job of ignoring other sounds. So keyboard clatter, dogs barking, most of that stuff won't make it into the mic, and that's a really good thing. You can of course mute the microphone with this switch on the back. The switch is fine, but I must admit it took me a fair bit of practice to actually find the thing while I was gaming. It's just a little too small. There's also this volume wheel here, but that's a very similar story. It's so thin and barely sticks out from the headset, so it's actually quite difficult to find and move. I was always sliding my thumb on the plastic next to it without realizing. I just ended up ignoring this, to be honest. I just couldn't find it reliably enough. So, should you buy the ATH-GDL3? If you're watching this video the day I published it, so you know, about 10 of you, this is out, in Australia at least, tomorrow. And it's going to cost you about $169. Look, honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I do think there are better sounding headsets out there with better onboard controls, and they're Bluetooth as well. So, you know, it's a little bit hard to recommend these. But that isn't to say you shouldn't buy one of these. If you're mainly interested in comfort or something lightweight, or you just like a gaming headset that looks a bit different, and look, these look awesome, then this is the headset for you. Definitely worth checking out. They're pretty awesome.